One time I took a night train from Kiev to Donetsk in Ukraine. Now, when you take night trains, when you board the train, there's usually a lot of commotion. People moving around with luggage, trying to find their spot for the night. While I had already settled into my compartment, I stood outside in the corridor, and two large men approached me. They had shaven heads and very thick necks and big muscular bodies. And one of them walked right up to me, and he put his face very close to me, and he stared at me, and he asked, "Krishnait," which means, "Are you a Hare Krishna?" And I was a little unsure whether I should say yes or no. Saying a little prayer in my heart, I said, "Yes, I'm a Hare Krishna." So he said, "Thank you very much for giving this knowledge to all the people." He told me that he had already received Srila Prabhupada's books and that he was chanting Hare Krishna. So while being there in the corridor, he asked me how he should chant Hare Krishna. Should he chant, he's a truck driver. Should he chant Hare Krishna on beads, or should he chant Hare Krishna on his mind, or should he sing Hare Krishna? So we had a little japa workshop in the night train from Kiev to Donetsk. And I also introduced to him a few other books, so he happily took books and gave a donation. And he was settling into the compartment next to ours. Him and his wife and their 4-year-old son, and there was also his mother-in-law and a friend. So the entire family was next to us. When I went back into my compartment, the person who was traveling with me, my assistant, he told me we should give them prasadam. We must give them prasadam. Do you have any prasadam? So I look around and I thought, I don't have any prasadam. I don't carry any prasadam. It's a night train. I don't eat at night. But then I realized that the devotees in Kiev had given me this huge bag of Mahaprasadam. And I completely forgotten about it because I thought, what are they thinking? That I will sit in the night train and eat all night? So when somebody gives you prasadam, never refuse it. It may not be for you. It may be for somebody else. You're probably only the messenger, and the recipient is already waiting somewhere else. The next morning, when the family woke up, I knocked on their compartment and I brought them the Mahaprasadam. Now, in night trains in the morning, it's quite a messy scene. So there were a lot of beer bottles and a lot of unmentionable things around. But when I brought them prasadam and I gave them samosas and sweet balls and cakes, they all looked and they were all like, "Wow, this is amazing." So they started eating the prasadam and being very, very appreciative. And then we arrived in Donetsk and we got off the train and it was raining and it was 5 degrees. Now I had just come from India where it was plus 30, and here I was in Donetsk and it was raining 5 degrees and there was no devotees around. So I was just standing on the train station waiting. After about 5 minutes, the devotees came in a hurry with a big, huge garland of Srila Prabhupada. And they gave me that garland. Just at that moment, the family came out of the train. And I turned around, and the grandmother, she was carrying the little boy, the 4-year-old boy, in her arms. So I took the garland of Prabhupada and I put it on the little boy. And he was very happy. He was very excited. He looked like the king of the train station with that garland, smiling, beaming. Seeing him so happy, the grandmother became ecstatic and the whole family became very happy. So I invited the man and told him, "Why don't you come to the temple?" That very same evening, the man attended Gora Artik. He attended Bhagavad Gita class and Sankirtan seminar. He chanted and danced with us. He stayed there for 3 hours and took prasadam. And later on he confided and he told me, "Now my family is convinced about Krishna consciousness." So it's wonderful that we give people Srila Prabhupada's books, but it's not enough. It's wonderful that we give people Krishna Prasadam, but it's not enough. Unless and until we are ready to extend ourselves beyond the call of duty and make ourselves available and accessible to spend time with people, to answer their questions, to show them the practice of bhakti yoga, to encourage them in their own personal practice, it will be very difficult for many people to take up this practice. Srila Prabhupada, as a general rule, on a daily basis, was holding open assembly in his own living room, what's called darshan. For 2 hours, anybody could just come and sit and ask him any question they wanted. Because Srila Prabhupada was accessible and he was available, he touched countless people's hearts.